Now, it's not uncommon in real estate to earn $100,000 or $200,000 or even more. It's also not uncommon to earn considerably less. In your first 12 months, your employer will be investing in you and helping you get up and running in terms of support and everything else, and they will lose money on you in most cases. But similarly, for your first 9 months, you won't generally see a return on the investment you make in time and effort in your income. Using the South Australian Real Estate Award as an example, the minimum amount someone can pay you in South Australia under the award structure is $38,000. Then usually with a commission component on top of that. Now, some people will and can pay you more, and considerably more. But just remember, the more you get paid, the greater the expectation on your results and your sales targets and you meeting them that will be placed on you. So just going back to that $38,000, which is quite a common way that people approach this as a base income, the way that that works is a bit like this. Is generally we would see in people's first 12 months in real estate, just as an observation, it's quite common for salespeople in that first year to earn around $60,000, inclusive of everything. But the interesting part of that is that up to month number 9, they're usually on an income of around the $38,000 to $40,000. It's only the last 3 months when they've built the skills and the confidence and the client base and the momentum that they start to see their income take off. Now, if you continue to do the right things and stick to some core fundamentals, your income should continue to grow and grow and grow. But the important thing is sticking to those core fundamentals. Now, in real estate, there's 3 main salary structures. The first and by far the most common is the retainer commission system. Now, the best way to think of this, I'd suggest, is think of it as commission paid in advance. So what happens is every month or fortnight or whatever way you've structured it with your employer, you're paid a retainer, and you're paid that regardless of whether you're selling or not. Now, at the same time, you're also paid a commission component. So every sale that comes in, you get paid commission on. What happens though is before an employer pays you commission, they will deduct the retainer you've previously been paid from that commission. So over a 9-month period, what will happen is you'll start to see, and just using 9 months as an indicative, you'll start to see that where you've generated a certain level of sales as you're building your momentum, your income will start to balance out, your retainer will start to balance out with your commission around that 9-month mark, and then should start to continue to take off and exceed your retainer if you're doing everything right. And let's face it, most people will do everything right with the support of their office. Now, another important thing to remember about the retainer structure is if you leave, you don't have to pay it back. It's actually a very fair and reasonable structure, and that would be explained much further in an interview situation. The second type of salary structure is a base salary plus commission. Effectively, it's the same as a retainer structure, but there's different cash flow implications for your employer. And as a result, there's usually a greater expectation on meeting targets within a shorter time frame. So it does have some good benefits, but there are some trade-offs in that regard. The third one, and ultimate one I would suggest in real estate, is commission only. And if you're a good practitioner, it can be very, very lucrative because you're paid a higher commission structure than you would under the other models. But the trade-off is if you don't sell, you don't eat. But if you do sell, you eat very, very well. So with a commission-only structure, to have access to that type of structure in South Australia, you need to have worked in real estate previously for at least 12 months. And over a 12-month period while you worked in real estate, you need to be able to demonstrate by law that you would have earned a minimum of $38,000 which is the minimum Australian salary, if you had been on a commission-only structure. So it's only for experienced practitioners. To sum up, I suppose there's a lot of truth, and in fact it's very, very true, that sales is the worst paying profession in the world. But it's also the best paying profession in the world. So the hard truth about working in real estate sales is you are a business within our business. And with that, to be successful as a business within a business, there's certain things you need to do and be aware of, especially in real estate sales. In real estate sales, not only, well, you basically have to go and find a product to sell. So the first thing you have to do, unlike other industries, is rather than selling a product off the shelf or someone else's services, you have to go and find someone who wants to sell a property, sell them your services, and then you have to sell their property. And over in South Australia, generally over the last decade, that takes on average about 70 days to do. So with that in mind, that's a lot of communication and a lot of support and a lot of activity. So that's the first thing. And the next thing you have to remember is when you're at work, work. And the other thing I'd also ask you to consider is you're setting up a business. Business requires investment. I'm not talking about income here or dollars, but what I am talking about is real estate isn't a field that you can just dip your toe into and try for a month or two or 3 months or 6 months. You really need to put in 12 months before you can really get the benefit from it and understand, is this the field for me? Leave any sooner than that, you lose all what you've invested, and similarly, you just don't get the return. So give it 12 months and commit to that. Finally, being a business owner within real estate, or business within a business as we like to refer to it, is excellent. Because basically what's happening is you're setting up your own profile, your own identity, your own cash flow and everything else within somebody else's environment. And they will help and support you in that regard. At the same time, you're not incurring the normal risks and operating costs associated with running your own business. So again, you're supported and you're normally in a cultural environment where you're also getting training and a bit of mentoring, or at least those options are available to you. And the other aspect too is that, you know, if you want to keep going in sales, terrific, but down the track, who knows, you might want to open a bunch of Raine Horne offices, and I can only hope that's the case. So the hard truth is, there are long hours. The hard truth is that it really takes you 12 months to figure out if this is the right profession for you and to see a good return on that investment. And the hard truth is that you will not see an immediate return on the hours and effort that you put in reflected in your income. Now, at this point, if I haven't talked you out of the job, the reality is you're also exactly the kind of person who can succeed and thrive in this profession. So, if you can handle the hard truth, contact us today.